Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and Happy New Year. Hope you guys had an amazing New Year's night. Uh, just wanted to post a quick video I thought of posting this quick video while I was starting my car in the morning today. I stay in Bangalore and it's starting to get really cold now, moving towards January, and it's gonna stay the same towards the end of February. And I think that's pretty much the same case all throughout India, especially in the northern states. It's gonna be really cold, and just wanted to address this topic of how to properly warm up your car's engine when you're starting it up on a winter's morning. So I know that there are like a lot of myths around this topic, that people sometimes say you need to leave your car on for like 3 or 4 minutes before you start every morning so that the all the oil and everything can circulate properly, and all the coolants and all get to all the corners of the engine. This was true to an extent in the older engines, but in the new cars, especially the ones with advanced electronic fuel injection systems, this is not completely true. You don't need to actually leave your car on for such a ridiculously long time, like 3 or 4 minutes. You're just wasting fuel by standing there idle, right? So I'm just gonna give you a quick couple of tips on this one, and I'm just gonna divide it in two parts. One is for new cars with fuel injection, and one for the older cars with carburetor or the old mechanical fuel injection for diesel engines. So in most modern cars, the fuel injection or the fuel delivery into the engine is controlled by a computer. When I say computer, it's not an actual computer, it's a small electronic chipset that controls the amount of fuel and air that goes into the engine. And this computer is designed to change the ratio of air to fuel based on your driving requirements and also the time of the start in the morning, right? When you start a car in the morning, the ECU is designed to actually send more fuel into the engine, so that your engine heats up much faster. So it's already designed to do that. Let me give you a quick demo of how that works. Here you can see this is my car's instrument cluster, and this is the first time I'm starting it in the morning. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start my car here. And there you go. See, the tachometer is actually higher than the idle. That means the fuel injection system is accelerating the car. It's pumping in more fuel so that your engine's RPM is slightly on the higher side. This is actually a built-in feature of the electronic fuel injection system to heat up your car faster in the morning, right? Or whenever you start in the first. You can see here, this is the engine temperature gauge. The ideal operating temperature is the middle point. Currently it's at the lower point. As you drive along, the engine keeps heating up and the needle hits this part. As you can see here, it's again coming back to idle. So once the needle comes back to idle, you can actually go ahead and start driving your car. There's nothing wrong in it. You're not going to damage the engine. You don't need to leave it idle for a very long time. So this takes around 30 seconds, depending on car to car. So whenever your car's needle comes back to its idle position, you can actually start driving the car. One thing you need to watch out for is, till the time the engine temperature gauge reaches the optimal middle point, it's best to avoid very harsh revving. Like, don't press your accelerator too hard. Just try to keep the revs within like 2500 RPM. That just ensures that the longevity is there, so that all the fluids in the engine reaches its optimal operating temperature. So that's the only thing that you need to do. This is pretty much same for both diesel and as well as petrol cars in most modern cars. Now coming to slightly older cars, it does make sense to leave them on for a slightly longer time than the newer ones, especially because their fuel injection systems are much older. For petrol engines, it used to be carburetor, and for the diesel ones, it used to be the old mechanical fuel injection systems. For these cars, it does make sense to idle them a little longer, maybe 2 or 3 minutes. It just ensures that the lubricating oils reach all the corners, especially with so many moving parts. It just makes sense to leave them a little longer, like three or maybe 2 minutes. 3 minutes is still not required. Maybe 2 minutes, so that the engine heats up. Now in extreme climate conditions where the place is really cold, it's always advisable to warm up your engine properly.